I have a couple of things to dig up today because this is the first night we're getting a real frost for a couple of hours. So first up is this canna that I managed to overwinter last year into this year, so it's only one. Well, nope, it broke. Okay, here it is. That's pretty tiny. That shouldn't, I don't know. This is, I think, the original right here. Pretty rough and tough. And then this looks like a pretty new corm that has growth coming up of it. I guess that's what I'm saving. Take some more of this excess soil off of it. Okay. So it was a lot bigger than this when I planted it. I don't even know if this is worth saving, but well, here it is. I'm doing it. Ah, go. So that was the plant. Just leave it there to and just leave it here to decompose. orange habanero. Jimmy, hello. The next order of business is this little sweet potato pot. Shouldn't take long. Our last order of business is the raised bed of sweet potatoes. That will take a little bit more going to, if there's anything to dig up anyway. Let's see. Now I did put these slips in later, so they wouldn't have had as much time to bulk up any tubers. Okay, we got some baby tubers here. All right, not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. So imagine if they'd gotten a chance to get fatter. But we have a few tubers here. That's enough for a meal. No, I broke that. Okay, and that's compost. I thought I left one under there. Let's see if I can. Did I pull it or did I lose it? No, I guess I pulled it. Okay. And then this little one. Okay, this one had something. Few little ones here. What is that? 5 little tubers. This one's gotten eaten a little bit. So a pot, I'd say 10-15 gallon pot is enough to grow at least one sweet potato. And if you have a long enough season to get it to a good size. I grew 2 in the short season. But I think if they were able to size up, then they would have been competing for that space. Sometimes the sweet potatoes branch out. There's another one. All right, so that makes it pretty promising results for that other bed. All right, I'm gonna leave that alone. Top that off with some leaves later. Alrighty, let's see. There's some other plants in here. This basil. This will definitely be fried when the frost hits. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone. Let it just die on in this bed. Maybe I should take off the fencing. That might help. Hey. Hey. Yeah. That one. All right, this is a plant here that's pretty easy to discern. I hope I don't poke any. Oh yeah, there's mesh underneath. Wire mesh. Forgot about that. That should be interesting. All right, not bad, not bad. Not bad at all. Yay. And the roots will keep going. You can have tubers many feet away from your original planting. So that was what? Six little tubers out of that plant. Nice size. There's one here. I see some of this has been nibbled. Now because the mesh is not, it's not that deep, this bed, maybe 6 inches at most. The tubers are pretty close to the top. I've had years where the tubers just kept going and going and going. So this one's been nibbled on a bit. This one was not as productive. There's a piece. I spaced these about a foot apart. This one is not productive, hardly. Yeah, these never bulked up. Just little strings, like beans. I'll just leave that there. A few tubers in this one. Come on, don't break on me. All right. Well, there you go. A full tuber for the most part. Not bad. No, dogs, not for you. Didn't realize you were off screen now. Another nice size. And then a couple that didn't get there. Did I lose any? 4 to 5 tubers, maybe 6 seem to be the norm. This one looks like it's another plant. Oops. Stabbed. And there's another bunch of smallies. This one's all curled up. This one got eaten. Here, dog, you can have this one. Is this from that plant or the other plant? I think that might be from this plant. Right here. Oh. Yeah. I don't know if that was attached. Yeah, that was attached and got broken. That's it. There's just like one tuber in that. And then last one over here. All right. This one had how many? 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Small, but they're there. This one's a decent size. So if I remember correctly, these were saved tubers that, gave me slips. And then that first one that I did was actually store-bought tubers from was Trader Joe's, yeah, organic, the red one. And so those did all right. Both these varieties did all right. This is the white fleshy, because I'm not a fan of Beauregard with the orange flesh, but I like the Japanese sweet potato. All right, that is that. Not my best year. Definitely had better, but I'm gonna amend this bed. It's not a bad space. I think it needs more soil, first of all, and a little more nutrients. But yeah, I'll try it again next year. Same space. Oops. While I'm here, I do have this bucket that I've been ignoring for many, many months. These were April potatoes, and this plant died pretty early on compared to its counterparts planted at the same time. And I just ignored it and ignored it and ignored it. You can see it in the videos when I pass through it. But it actually has, a few decent potatoes. It's just sitting here contemplating its existence. If I'd left this bucket, it'd probably just sprout up again in the spring. Then I'd have a mess on my hands because there'd be a whole bunch of little potatoes. It's just an acorn. Oh yeah, that was that. All right, I think that's good. And this bucket is kind of falling apart. It's already got cracks on the side. I was holding on to it with this zip tie, but it's time to let it go. Maybe I'll just empty all the soil here. Yeah, I got little bitty potatoes. and one normal size one. All right, this is part 2 of overwintering the peppers. And which one to overwinter? These are like doubles of what was in the main bed. So I technically don't need to do this. I already have shishito, poblano. That's one of the ones I didn't have in that bed. So that, I don't even know anymore. Well, no shishito I already have. There's 2 of those here. I think this is no, not that one. This is the poblano that I'm going to save. I don't remember what this was. Oh, it says it here. Habanero. I'd like to save that because I don't. I have. Is that the orange habanero? Because that's what I had in that bed. These are 2 plants. One I don't need. Is that enough root system to support it? Now I have been de-leafing. I'm keeping like the more mature fruits, but the rest kind of stripping. All right, put that aside. This is the Jimmy Nardello. Didn't do that well here, but doesn't mean it won't do better next year. Let's try that. Still trying to flower and everything. Oops, well, I lost that fruit. And this one. That's a good specimen. Not really sure how much, stem to save because it'll bush out if it makes it. Then when it comes out of dormancy in the spring, or it's going in the house, so it might just keep growing, given it survives. Yeah, this name tag didn't make it. I can't make it out. Not even a little bit. Well, I hope it's a poblano. This one is saying it's poblano for sure. So I might plant both of those. But no, I wouldn't have put 2 poblano stickers. So what was that one? If this is the poblano, then that's something else. And this one has a couple of fruits on it. This is a volunteer cherry tomato that I don't want in here. And this one's fine. Another cherry. Still has fruit on it that I'll give to the chickens. And you can see the marigold still pumping out. We'll see what the frost does. And the shishitos, I have enough, so I'll just leave these here to succumb to the frost. Well, I'll take the red ones. There's no sense in wasting perfectly good fruit. A couple of red ones. Still plenty of green ones on this one. So I picked up also the pumpkin and the butternut squash. And also the Moroccan squash. Unfortunately, I broke the tip on this one in the effort to get it off the plant. So that's not going to store for very long. So this one looks fine. It had superficial damage, but I don't think that's going to affect it too much. Those are that. It's like, this is 24 inches long for sure. So these two I will be taking in overnight. I don't want them getting too damaged. This one's already had a hard time. The lantana, it's not supposed to be out in 40-degree temperatures. The scented geranium does quite a bit better. I'll also bring in the rosemary, another plant that should have been brought in ages ago. And last is the gingers. But I'm not quite ready for these yet. I'll put them back outdoors. It's only one night that's looking questionable, and then a few nights back in the 40s. So I'll put these back outside after. And this is the current state of the peppers. Some are in paper, some are in pine shavings. Yep. I do have dirt, but that's not enough. So once I'm, satisfied that the fruits are done or whatever, if anything happens, then I'll pot them up with some potting soil. But right now they're sitting here in, it's like the mudroom basically. There's not that much light coming in, but a little bit. So a lot like in the spring, there's plenty of little projects to do here and there. Like behind me, there's a couple of blueberry plants I still have to transplant. Other than that, we're going as best as we can, trying to take advantage of the few warm days, few warm hours of sunshine. The wind kicks up at this time, so it makes it unpleasant with the cold, and my hands can't take that chill too long. But I'm getting along, and hope you are too. All right, talk to you all again soon. So we'll harvest more. Bye.